Your dog is talking to you all day long, just not with barks. He's using his tail, his ears, his eyes, his entire body. And here's the problem. Most owners get almost all of it wrong. Body language is your window into his true feelings. And one signal in particular, number 5, is so often missed that understanding it could genuinely protect your whole family. Today I'm going to walk you through 8 signals so you can finally understand what your dog is saying. If you love dogs, hit that subscribe button and let's dive in. 1. That wagging tail doesn't mean what you think. Let's tackle the biggest misconception in dog communication right away. A wagging tail equals a happy dog. That's simply false, and believing it is exactly how so many people end up bitten by a dog that was clearly sending them a warning. Here's the truth. A wag just means your dog is emotionally activated. What matters is the style of the wag. A loose, sweeping motion where his whole hindquarters sway along with it. That's real joy. But a tail that's rigid and held high, snapping back and forth in quick, tight bursts, tells you he's highly worked up and possibly on edge. A slow, low swish often means uncertainty, while a tail clamped tightly between his legs is straightforward fear. Even the position matters on its own. Held high signals confidence or even a challenge. Level with his spine suggests calm, low suggests worry. So starting today, don't just ask, is he wagging? Ask, how is he wagging? The speed, the height. And the looseness of that tail give you one of the most honest updates you'll ever get on what's going on inside him. 2. His ears are broadcasting his emotions. Think of your dog's ears as 2 little signal flags constantly updating you on his state of mind. Once you know how to read them, you can watch his feelings shift in real time. Ears sitting in their natural, relaxed position mean he's at ease with the world around him. Ears perked forward mean he's interested and alert. Something has grabbed his attention, and he's figuring out what to make of it. But pay close attention when those ears start pulling backward. Slightly back can simply mean he's being friendly or trying to appease someone. The polite ear position of a dog greeting someone he's fond of. Ears pinned flat against his head, though, is a completely different message. That's fear or stress, a dog bracing for something that's troubling him. Every breed carries its ears a little differently, floppy, upright, or somewhere in between. So learn what your own dog's relaxed ears normally look like. Once you know that baseline, every deviation from it becomes something you can actually understand. The further his ears drift from their natural resting spot, the stronger the emotion he's experiencing, and the more he needs you to pay attention. The next signal happens right in front of you constantly, and it's shockingly easy to overlook. 3. His eyes reveal everything. A dog's eyes might be the single most expressive feature on his entire face, if you know what you're looking at. A calm, contented dog has what trainers call soft eyes, gently squinted, relaxed, almost smiling, and often accompanied by slow, easy blinking. That's a dog completely at peace. And when he directs that soft look toward you, it's pure affection, nothing complicated about it. But those same eyes can harden. A locked, unblinking stare is a sign of tension, a dog fixated intently on something. In the language of dogs, a hard stare often reads as a challenge or even a threat. And then there's a signal important enough to have earned its own name: whale eye. This happens when your dog turns his head away from something but keeps his eyes fixed on it, so the whites show in a crescent shape. Whale eye has one clear meaning: he's deeply uncomfortable right now. You'll spot it when a dog is being squeezed in a tight hug, boxed into a corner, or has a child climbing all over him. Those white crescents are your dog quietly asking for help. Give him room, and you could be stopping the moment before his silent request turns into something much louder. Before we get to the next one, if this kind of insight into your dog fascinates you, I've put together a completely free ebook covering the subtle signals your dog sends every single day. The small details most owners overlook for years. The link is sitting right there in the description, and it pairs perfectly with what we're covering today. Now, number 4, the stress signals hiding in plain sight. Let's move into the subtler language now, the fleeting signals that flash by in an instant and that almost no owner ever catches. A quick lick across the lips with no food anywhere nearby. A big yawn even though he's nowhere near tired, suddenly sniffing the ground in the middle of a tense situation, an out-of-nowhere scratch. Or a full-body shake-off, like he's drying himself when he's completely dry. These are known as calming signals, and they're your dog's way of telling you, I'm feeling stressed right now, and I'm trying to work through it. One single tongue flick on its own might mean absolutely nothing, maybe a fly buzzed by. That's the golden rule here. Never judge based on one isolated moment. Always look at the bigger picture. But when these small signals repeat, stack up, and cluster together, your dog is telling you clearly that something in that situation is too much for him to handle. The owners who learn to notice these tiny cues early are the ones whose dogs never have to escalate to be understood. Which brings us to the quietest, loudest signal of them all, the one that could actually save you from a bite. 5. The freeze, the warning nearly everyone misses. This is the single most important signal in the entire video, so please pay attention here. Right before almost every dog bite, there's a moment, a brief and silent one that most people completely fail to notice. The dog goes totally still. The panting halts, the mouth shuts. His body locks up, the tail stops moving, he freezes completely. And here's the tragic part, to most people, a still, quiet dog looks calm. So they keep right on doing whatever they were doing, reaching in, hugging tighter, leaning closer. But that stillness isn't calmness at all. It's the exact opposite. A freeze is a dog's last warning, the final quiet message before he feels he has no option left but to defend himself. It means, I'm overwhelmed, and this needs to stop immediately. If you ever notice your dog, or any dog, suddenly go stiff and motionless, especially with a closed mouth and a hard, fixed stare, do not lean closer. Do not reach toward him. Do not push the moment further. Calmly back off and give him space and remove whatever's causing the pressure. This is the one signal you should teach your kids and grandkids above all the rest. A dog that freezes isn't being overly dramatic. He's using everything he has to avoid conflict, silently pleading for someone to finally pay attention. 6. Raised hackles don't always mean what you'd expect. You've probably seen it happen. The fur along a dog's back suddenly stands up in a ridge running from his neck toward his tail. Most people's instant reaction is to assume aggression, but here's what that raised fur actually signals. Hackles are what scientists call an involuntary arousal response, essentially the canine version of goosebumps. Your dog has no control over raising them. They rise automatically whenever his emotions spike sharply. And sure, sometimes that spike comes from anger or a perceived threat, but it just as easily could come from fear, surprise, uncertainty, or even pure excitement. Some dogs raise their hackles the very first time they meet a new friend, simply because the moment feels emotionally intense to them. So instead of panicking the moment you see raised fur, treat it as a heads-up. Your dog is experiencing something strongly right now, then look at the rest of his body to figure out what. A tense frame, hard stare, closed mouth. That's a dog nearing his limit. A loose body, wagging rear, bouncy movements. That's simply a dog overflowing with excitement. The hackles tell you the intensity of the feeling. The rest of his body tells you what that feeling actually is. If this video is shifting how you see your dog, take a moment to subscribe and tap that like button. It genuinely helps this reach more owners who want to connect with their dogs on this level. Now the final 2 signals are the happiest of the bunch. 7. The play bow, an invitation written across his whole body. After all those warning signs, here's the signal every dog owner adores seeing. His front legs stretch flat along the ground. His chest drops low. His rear end sticks up high in the air, usually accompanied by a tail wagging like crazy. And those bright, hopeful eyes look right up at you. That's the play bow, and it's one of the clearest, most joyful messages in all of dog communication. It translates to, everything I do next is just for fun, let's play. Dogs use this bow with each other to keep their games friendly. A built-in promise that whatever chasing or wrestling follows is purely playful. And when your dog offers you that bow, take it as the genuine compliment it is. He's welcoming you into his happiness, speaking to you in his own native language, inviting you to share the very best part of his day. A dog fully committed to a loose play bow, wiggling and soft-eyed, is a dog whose heart is completely at ease. Say yes to him as often as you can. 8. Reading the whole dog the language of his heart. Here's the final lesson, and it ties everything else together. No single signal, not a wag, not a yawn, not even a freeze, tells you the complete story by itself. Dog language isn't a set of individual words in a dictionary. It's a continuous, flowing conversation spoken by his entire body at once. So starting today, practice reading your dog as a whole, the tail, the ears, the eyes, the mouth, the muscles under his fur all together in context. Is his body loose, curved, and relaxed? That's a comfortable, content dog, no matter what any single part is doing. Is he tense, closed off, and rigid? Then something's wrong and he needs your understanding, not your irritation. This is a skill you build over time, and you'll get better at it with every day you practice. And here's what's waiting for you on the other side: a dog who finally feels understood. Because your dog has been talking to you his whole life, in the only language he's ever known, hoping every single day that you'd eventually learn it. He watches you constantly, picks up on your every movement, and understands your emotions better than some people in your life ever will. Learning to speak his language back to him is the deepest way you'll ever tell him, "I see you, I hear you, and you're safe with me." That's the real reward here, not just fewer problems and not just more safety, but a bond where both of you finally feel heard. So this week, look at your dog with fresh eyes and start truly listening to everything he's been telling you all along. Let me know in the comments which of these signals your dog uses the most. I read every single one. If this video helped you understand him better, subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next, and grab that free ebook waiting in the description. And if you're a fan of the Gentle Giants, our companion channel, Golden Retriever Mind, is there for you too. Take good care of yourself and of that wonderful dog who's never stopped talking to you. See you in the next one.